Hey guys, welcome back to the Incoherent Ramblings of a Madman. Basically, I'm just here to talk about music and why I like it a lot, and like my favorite bands and stuff. I've been mostly into sad songs recently. That I don't know why. I just like them a lot. Right? Usually they kind of have like this whole thing, and I think just at least with what I listen to, they have this whole thing in this pattern that's like kind of has to do with either loving, longing, or both, and I love that a lot. Right? I think that's what really gets me. Right? Same with like like the writing part. Yeah, you have to get that down, right? But other than that, the message is like when it's there, it's there. But I just like music as a whole, and I don't think I have anything that's like my favorite per se, right? Because I like to try at least to expand what I listen to sometimes, right? Especially like right now. Uh, I've been just like all the politics and stuff. I've been trying to like put my feed as something else. Put my like my for you page and stuff. Just change the algorithm completely. I'll be like, okay, let me stop watching all of this. I want to watch more music stuff. Music make me happy. But yeah, so I've been watching like Beatles stuff, Michael Jackson kind of things, Prince, Britney Spears kind of stuff, all this fucking kind of stuff, right? Basically, like the process, and I really have to watch that Beatles documentary. Though it's like 8 hours, I think, right? I don't know, but I'm still probably gonna watch it because I don't know. I've been like watching a lot of like the Beatles stuff today, and a lot of the stuff that kind of interests me is that one, the way they wrote songs is I think it's unconventional by today's standards, at least to my knowledge, right? And I don't really know how the songwriting process usually goes, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't go. I dreamt something up, so I played it or like wrote it and then played it, right? I don't think it goes that way. And for the Beatles, it seemed like they just had an idea, went with it, or at least John and Paul went with it, and then Ringo and George were good enough to like they were just so good that they just went with that, right? They would be like, "Hey, here's this thing, and here's this thing, and here's what we want." They'd be like, "Okay, oh, I see what you mean," and then they played it, right? And then apparently, according to Paul and John and everyone else, it would be like 3 hour sessions, right? And then they'd be done with like a song or something, and I think that's really cool. But I think the coolest part is the fact that they just did it, right? The fact that they just felt like, hey, this is like a song I had in my head. Let's just put it down and then record it. And I think that's really cool. And I don't know if any other bands have really done that or any other things have done that, right? I think Prince might have done something like that because Prince has a whole lot of music, right? He has a whole like vault of music, but I don't know if that's really the same thing. I just know he did things really quickly. I know he just put out as much as he could, right? And with Michael Jackson, I don't really know about. For me, I know about Michael Jackson's process the least, right? All I know he's worked with Quincy Jones, right? Quincy Jones was his producer, and that's about it. And I don't really know the rest about any other real musician out there. I just don't. So I guess I'll have to try to search it up, but I doubt I'll find anything really. I think especially for more modern kind of music, right? I don't know if I'll find that process, and I feel like maybe it'll be different, right? Because what John did apparently basically got what he meant, right? And this is a quote that he told what's his name, man, David Bowie. There he is. Wow, I had to think about that. I don't know why I had to think about it. It's fucking David Bowie. But he talked to David Bowie and he said, "Yeah, just write what you mean, put a rhythm to it, and record it basically, right? and I guess that's basically what he kind of did, right? And same thing with Paul. Like they both kind of went with that kind of style, right? Paul made "Let It Be" because he dreamt of his mother, right? And then he just put it down. And same with "Here Today," right? He was just in his room, and then he started playing, and then bam, that's how it happened, right? It's so, I find that so cool, right? And I think that's like a little inspiring, because for me, and I think like my brother too, is like, oh, there's this process, right? And you have to follow the process, and you have to do this, and that, and they're like, let's just do this and record it, and then that's it, right? And it's like that simple. And I don't think that means like it's gonna be good all the time. Some people tried that, but I think that's super interesting, and I don't know if people actually do that. Uh, Especially like nowadays, I don't think people actually, you know, like sit down and just play whatever comes to mind. And I think that's mostly not like a fear thing, but maybe that's an overthinking thing. At least for me, it is, right? Overthinking the process and being like, hey, you gotta actually do this, and there's something more that you need to do, and more and more and more and more. When maybe it's actually that simple, right? It's so simple that you had a song idea in your head. Let's just play it, right? Play the best you can, or like find where it is and find that melody and find that those notes and those chords, right? And put it down, right? And write some lyrics for it. Or if you have lyrics, write the lyrics down. Find something that sounds good to you that matches or something, and just do that, right? Put a rhythm to it, basically. I think if it was that easy, I think more people would be doing it, right? I think more people would be going out there and doing stuff like that. But I think I think it depends on the person. I think it's more of an individual kind of thing, because I think some people can do it and some people can't. And again, maybe a lot of people are overthinking it and being like, hey, you gotta do this thing, you gotta do that thing. It has to have like a super special meaning or something like that. Or it has to sound like this in this certain way, and the lyrics have to be like singable or something, or I don't know, something like that, right? I don't really know the whole music recording process or how that goes, right? Wasn't able to really enjoy that as a kid, right? Because I've been into music since I was a kid, but I never got to really like practice it or go into those spaces. Mostly because like my mom sent me to a school I wasn't interested in, and I couldn't do guitar or anything. Because they didn't have that until I left the school, unfortunately. Um, so really all I know is just me by myself doing things here, and then like Beatles and what's his name, and Prince. That's basically all I know. But if people really make things like that, just sitting down and be like, let's make a song, make song, and then that's it. I think that's really fun. Even though it sounds dumb, but I don't know, dumb just sounds fun to me, and I think maybe it's really just that simple. You know what I mean? I just find that super cool. Sorry, someone's messaging me right now. Hold on. Uh, but yeah, I just find all that super cool. And I'd probably be more into making music. If I knew more about how to play the guitar. I'm not that good at guitar player, right? I can't play the keyboard for that thing. Right? I can't play that for the life of me, right? But that, and like, really don't have an incentive to. Mostly because of where I live, right? Finding like bands here to join or anything like that, it's very hard to do down here specifically where I live. One, middle of nowhere, right? And two, you really, if you want to be in a band, you really have to do it through school and not through anything else. You can't really go to gigs or whatever. You have to have something yourself, right? So I think I'd have to do that, and I just don't really have anything like that. I probably will in college maybe, but that's gonna be in 4 months. But other than that, I think that's really fun, and I think if I had an opportunity to do it, I'd do it 100%. Yeah, but yeah, sorry that this was a mess. Went through different kind of things, but yeah, that's just what I wanted to get out there. If you liked it, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. I don't know how this is gonna be like. Oh my god.